to like give approval and all that stuff. And then once it's set up, then you would have it. Yeah, a custom email. Yeah.
What I was going to suggest is that, what you can do is set up a spreadsheet in Google Docs, layout, so you have the website name, you have the username, the password. What I do for emails is I create a virtual email address at the business domain. So let's say mailing list at abc.com. And this way you create all the listings with the same email address. But as far as getting them done through Fiverr, I think what's better obviously is find a VA, even if it's part-time, that you can use consistently. So you give them, 10 hours a week or something. And this way you have one person managing all of it. Because I think there's a bit of a trust issue. If you have different people creating backlinks and stuff, you don't know if that list is going to leak out with the username passwords. And if it leaks out, then eventually someone could be putting, junk information over there. So, I did that initially. I had people on Fiverr creating over 200 backlinks. And then when I got my VA, we actually went through the entire list, changed the passwords. We're actually using different password for every single backlink, just because if one gets compromised, you don't want to have the other ones compromised. And you can find people on Fiverr, you can find people to work, on like 10 hours a week for next to nothing, just consistency.
Thank you. You're right. I didn't think about that, but you're absolutely right.
One question I had on the citations, I don't know if William's coming back to answer this.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, dude, great. Hey, so when you do the citations and you get a list of the citations and the reports, do you ever go back in and make sure you either ping the URL or so that Google goes back and actually scrapes the page?
You're talking about for the actual citation. That's another reason why in the spreadsheet, you'll see I have a URL for citations. Whenever the citation is created, you can actually get the actual URL and I'll have it indexed and I'll submit it to an indexer. But prior to doing all that, I'll actually use and send backlinks to citations.
One strategy I've heard is you can just create another page on your site and you just paste the link to that citation.
Correct.
Is that an advisable approach?
I don't use it. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, for instance, back in the day, we used to go reciprocal links and we'd put a page with everybody that we've ever linked to would be on that page. And it's just not something I do. I mean,
okay.
If someone wants to show me that it works, then great. And I'll use it. But it's just, to me, I just no. Go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, I just was, when you were mentioning like people spamming, when sending, what do you do in that case if you've gotten spammed?
Depends on which industry. It's like, for instance, if it's just your backlinks and they want to do that, then I use Ahrefs. And I have other methods in which I check the backlinks on a weekly basis, and then I'll disavow the backlinks.
So you do disavow.
And I have to disavow them on a weekly basis for one specific client. And it's because he's in a very competitive niche and he's made enemies with somebody. So you have to go in and disavow. And that's what most people don't understand. It's like, okay, you're messing with somebody that specifically is in that specific niche, especially when it comes to black hat SEO, is there are tactics in black hat that, can ruin somebody. Yeah, that's what I was saying even the other day when we were talking about, and I know this got controversial, but even with the readdressal form, is the fact that you got to think about consequences of everything. It's like some people, I want to do just black hat and I don't care. I just want to get there. Well, realize when you're hiring someone that can do black hat or specifically trained in black hat, that you piss them off and they could also take care of you and do the same thing. Because I have people contact me and, I want you to take this person out or blah, 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 and take their business out. I just won't do it. I won't do it, because if I'll do it to that person, I could do it to them, so I just don't feel right about certain things. But go ahead, pick up.
In terms of disavowing backlinks, Are you not sending Google a negative signal that, okay, now I'm having backlinks, I'm putting in backlinks, then now I'm trying to disavow them? Because I had a chat
Well,
with Chris.
yeah, I know. Then there are cases where, see, with mine in specific, I will have, let's say, the guy will only send like 3 or 4. And it's always dating or pornography websites, and I'll disavow them. I've never had any. If anything, I've never had any bad results, but I've never had to deal with them where they're in the thousands. And I have heard of people doing that where they're because you will have, when you have to deal with volume like that, you're going to have some consequences regardless. Disavow them or not, you're going to have consequences. And both ways they're going to be negative. Either way, if you had a bunch of backlinks and you come in and get rid of a bunch of them, it's still going to be a negative. There are 2 approaches, same thing as in life. I mean, really, if you want to get down to it, you could take the passive approach and be like, it doesn't matter, and I'm not going to have to look at this, and no one's going to attack me. It's just little old me. And that's just not a good way to handle anything in life. And it's not a good way to handle citations. I would say to be more, aggressive and active in it. And how do you overcome things in life is by being active. And the same thing with your citations, same thing with your GMB, to be active, even with, even with SEO, even if you're having someone handle your SEO, you still need that communication. And this is the reason why I set up, like with my agencies, I set up Asana, is because I want to have a paper trail of communication. So A, I can fix an issue. B, I can go, all right, this is where you screwed up or we screwed up, and here's how we're going to avoid it and correct things. If you don't have that and you just take this passive approach, then you're going to keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over, and it'll just never be corrected because you're not going to have, no way to correct it, and you just think everything's peachy cream. And if you have an active approach with spreadsheets, you could sit there and go, okay, this is where everything's at. For instance, this is my name, address, phone number, description, categories, payments I accept, all that information. And therefore, when I go to do it, it is correct. Now, what Jarek's talking about, for instance, with passwords and emails, that's the same thing. You really need, and we constantly have this issue where, for instance, someone goes, they want us to do their hosting, and they'll always, almost always, an agency will go, here's my username and password. And I tell them, say, number one, that's going to be a problem, because as soon as I go to try to log in, and I'm in the Philippines, it's going to say, for instance, hey, Sherry, you're not in the Philippines. We know exactly where you're at by your IP address, and now you're in the Philippines. We need a code. So, and when I go to try to get that code, it's going to be in the middle of the night. Number 2, safety. If you're going to give someone your hosting information, you do realize that they can go in there and destroy your entire website. Same thing with which Jarek's talking about, right? So what I tend to do, and I ask agencies to do, is if you're going to have me have to upload a website or something like that, give me what Google, depending on your hosting provider, could be what we call user access or collaboration. Therefore, I don't have your username, password, and I just have collaboration. If I want to get rid of you, I just go in there and I take you off. Same way I can put you on. The Google Drive, for instance, you could still have issues. Let's say you shared your spreadsheet and it had, like Jarek's talking about, with all your username, password. Someone goes in there, and even if it's a Google Drive and you just share it with them, they can actually go in there and still download it and make a copy of it. I had someone that accidentally did this the other day, and with me and Facebook, I never knew. I was like, maybe it's an inside job. You never know. Was the Google Drive with all the class links, all the class information and all the shortcuts I was giving everybody. Someone went in there and erased the entire thing. So luckily I have history, and I go back and I just saved it to the, the last person to edit before it. Then I had to contact the person and say, hey, did you do it on purpose? And luckily I knew the person, and he's like, no, I didn't even know it happened, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, just want to make sure, cause I got quite a bit of flack going on right now with Facebook. So, but and then with the email thing as well, is setting up different emails, depending on what type of backlinks, depending on your citations. Your citations should always have the same email address, or you should at least have access to those emails, because let's say you need to change the information, you forget your password, or the password for whatever reason doesn't work. If you have your email attached to it and you have access to that email, you just hit reset password. Password comes to that email address, and you can do those edits that you need to do and fix the things that you needed to fix. But if you don't have that access, then it's no good. One last thing, then we're gonna, I'll take more questions and stuff. But basically, citations, think of it this way: citation is a snippet, basically telling Google and telling everybody, potential customers, this is what my business is about. So that's what you kind of gotta think about whenever you're doing your citations. What your categories, what type of description you want to use, your location, obviously some keywords, stuff like that. And it's basically going to be, it's almost like your meta description. When someone looks at your meta description, what do I think about your business when it comes to SEO? So I'm going to open up for questions. I'm going to put this information in the back end, the video and everything. It will probably be 2 videos, because first video got cut off, and second video will probably be in there as well. So, but go ahead. Any questions, just raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead, Tricia.
Okay. Question on the aggregate citations.
Mm.
From what I understood about them was that while you send them out there, they're good, but after a year they become stale and you should resend them once a year. Is
Correct.
that true? Okay. Good. That's why I think I put that about Bright Local, that it was a yearly thing. It's only if you want to do it yearly. So that's,
yeah, Bright Local, I mean, is good for us. It's a matter of
yeah.
I just
Thanks.
Go ahead, Neos.
What I wanted to ask you is, can you show us at some point when you say it will be at the back end of the website? Because I don't really understand.
Yeah, I'll show.
You say
Let me go ahead and show you real quick. I have to do this more. I almost want to just do a class just on this, because I've had that question so often. Let me pull it up. So when I say go to the back end, I'm going to log out so you can actually see the process, because when you go to Rank Fortress Academy, as long as this is going to be a good little boy here, and you click login, and it's going to say, okay, $97, $297 for these 2 different classes. You click on SEO GMB Masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to click take this course, because you're not already logged in. Then you're going to click log in. Once you click log in, it's going to show you the course. The courses I'm registered for. Let's say GMB Masterclass. I click on that, and now it shows me everything I ever add is here. And the best thing to do is, as you go through each thing, let's say I start at the start here and I complete this, I hit mark complete. So therefore I know that that one's done. Then I go to the next one. This is, let's say for instance, SEO terms. You go through each one of these. Some of these are videos. Some of them are audit sheets. Some of them are categories of competition sheets, spreadsheets, live audits, photo sharing websites, lists, videos. Then you click on, let's say page 2 here. And this is when I say the back end, when I'm uploading sheets or Google Sheets or worksheets or videos is all in here. Ask me anything Fridays. Fridays are always AMAs. So that's what I mean by back end. Does that answer anybody's question? Everybody's question. Let me leave this open while let me get to Chris real quick. Let me poke this out. Go ahead, Chris.
Is there a way that you can get to those without completing all of the things?
Yeah, you can just click on them.
Mhm.
Oh, because I think I was having a problem looking at like a review of one of the classes that I wasn't able to go to. And maybe it's because it was in the.
Yeah, you have to
in
show
the-
me in best way. If you ever have an issue, this is just in general communication. Don't send me a text. Show me an actual video so I could see it.
Okay.
Because if I can't see it happening, if I could see it happening, maybe I could see where you're doing something wrong, or maybe there's a
Yeah.
glitch or something like that. But you could click on anything and go through it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Paul, you had your hand up, then you ran away.
Yeah, it was just because I couldn't advance through the course without completing it. So I'll try it the way you're suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yeah,
see
if
what
you
happens.
can't,
Thank you.
yeah, send me a video and then I'll see what it maybe possibly could be.
Thank you.
Yep. And Sherry, go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, I have the same problem. Unless I hit complete, then I can go to the next one. But so I just went through and completed them all, and this way I can go back and forth in between. But
I think I know where it's at now that you're mentioning it. I think I have a pretty good clue because there is a setting in the back end. I'll just make sure that that's not on, because there is a setting in which basically you cannot proceed without completing. So I'll make sure that's off for everybody.
So I had a question for you. For one of the GMBs that we're working on the site, when we go look at the map pack, try and compare to see, because we're number 4 and we're trying to get up into the 3, 2, and 1, and like most of them, and it's happened a few different times, have nothing going on with their GMB. They don't have any posts. They don't have any, barely any reviews. That we looked at the category. It's the same category. So is it just keep doing your posts and you'll jump ahead? Like, what's really?
No, I'd honestly, a lot of them, I'd have to see the actual example, and then I have to do an audit on it, because there are things like, without running a backlink report or seeing what they're maybe doing on the back end that you're not seeing, because you're only seeing what's up front.
And how does one see the back end?
I have some tools I went through the other day in regards to, pretty sure we went over it. And just stop and thought for a minute. We went through the keyword research, but no, we probably haven't done backlink analysis yet. We'll go over that. And I can show you how we look at things, but backlink analysis will basically tell me, okay, for example, maybe we'll do that tomorrow, but basically backlink analysis goes, who's your top 5 competitors? And I go, why are they up front? And then I go, for example, what backlinks do they have that I don't have? What type of backlinks? Are they local backlinks or national backlinks? And then I compile an Excel spreadsheet. And then on that Excel spreadsheet, I'll just basically go, okay, here's all the backlinks my competition has. Here's the ones I have. And let's get to work. And we do outreach and basically start trying to get those same set of backlinks that our competition has that we don't have. Easiest way I could tell you how SEO, everybody complicates SEO. SEO equals, what has this person got that I don't have, and how do I get it? That's all it really is. If it's okay, they have 5,000 backlinks and I got 1,000. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do ahead of me. I had a guy the other day wanted me to do a miracle for him, and he wanted to know why. For instance, I'm just giving you, for instance, the guy had, his competition has 11,000 backlinks. He has 500. The competition wasn't in the industry for all of COVID, now jumps back into the industry, and now his rankings are down. What's the common factor? The common factor is the big dog went to sleep and you fell asleep because, you were number 1 or number 2 or number 3. And now that he's back in, you're out. So what do you got to do? You got to do what you should have been doing the whole time, which is blog posting and backlinks and outreach and all that nice stuff that no one wants to do. That is what matters, because Google likes to see your content being updated on a regular basis. I have someone else that same issue. Why can't we get this one ranked? You're not giving blogs. You're not doing press releases. You're not doing nothing you're supposed to be doing. I could backlink it till I'm blue in my face. But if I don't give something Google to link to, they're not going to link to it. If I don't give something.
One of them didn't have a website.
Yep. But you can rank. Now you can look at it. Do they have a business Google site?
No.
I'd have to see that one. That would be a doozy for me to see.
Okay, well, I'll send it to you.
Send that to me and let me look at it, because I've seen people go, okay, they don't have a website, but they have a business site, and you can rank a business site just like a regular website, but different methods. So, all right, Tricia.
Yes, let's see. Question on, sometimes you say that you're going to add something, and I think there's like a Google document here in the class.
Yeah, there's a Google document that's shared with everybody.
That Google document?
I do not. I started it, and I started putting some information in it, and I actually enabled everybody to say, okay, if you want to add something to that Google document, originally it was set up so everybody could edit it.
Oh, okay.
And I got rid of that ability because last Friday someone accidentally deleted it. Oops. And I didn't know if it was an accident or not an accident. So I made it so it's not going to be an accident whatsoever. If you want anything added to it, just let me know. And I'll add it.
So my question when we talked before we even came on about the your content person for Fiverr. So when you say you're going to add that, where would I look for that when you add it?
In there.
In that document.
In that document. Yeah. Okay. In that document. I'll add that into the document. The other content, Bucio's, is in there as well.
Yeah.
And he's really good. He's just double the price. And
yeah, I used him. He is good.
He does almost all my content. So
he did a really good thing for content for me. So thanks. So,
yep. Hey Gary, how you doing?
Okay, there we go. Unmute. Where would we find the link for that document?
I'm actually going to share it with everybody again. So you're on the student list, the email list, and as soon as I send it out, everybody will get it again. But if you went underneath if you already had access to it, you could go underneath your Google Drive and search for it. You would see it.
Okay,
but I'll reshare it with everybody again. Yeah, that's originally what I was going to do, Jarek, and I just don't know anymore. So I just don't know anymore. So nevertheless, to the easy, and for everybody that doesn't know, and I sent y'all the link. If you're not in the GMB group that I manage, I sent that link today, and I need y'all, if y'all want to go in there and join that group. That's the only group I will be posting in whatsoever. That's the only group I manage, and I will be putting all my time and effort in there. So for now, at least. So let's see. Anything else? Protect the one from you, the other can be open. Yeah, that's what the plan is basically give y'all access to one, and then the other one, it'll be just for me. So any more questions? And we're going to get off here, and then I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go over, we'll do some backlink analysis. That way, James is saying he's the screw up that deleted it. You didn't delete the document. He just accidentally, deleted all the information on it. But the good thing about Google Docs, it shows you history, and you can just revert it back. And I was able to do that rather quickly. And I knew as soon as I saw his name, I was like, yeah, it's James. He didn't do it on purpose. I thought maybe it was going to be one of the other people that slipped in. If they had. But nevertheless, any other questions, let me know. If you have any questions, email me. No, you don't. Email me. You have my email address, phillamrush@gmail.com. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll go over backlink analysis. Y'all have a good
Thanks,
one.
Phil.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.